Hi, and welcome to an Organized Chaos podcast. I'm Bobby Quarters. Chaos is here with me as well. We just wanted to thank you for watching.
Yes. Hey, Bobby.
And hey, and while you're here, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. You can follow me on YouTube as well as Chaos and the podcast channel, which all three of those channels will be streaming this very show you're about to watch. These counselors start dropping dead, left and right. Heinous killings. Turns out, that kid who drowned the year before, his mother came back to that camp and exacted revenge.
Furiosa! We've come too far.
As a child, my world was forever changed. My mother was magnificent. And he took it all from me.
Who do we have here?
She's from a place of abundance.
My childhood. My mother. I want them back. I want them back!
Captain Christopher Pike requests permission to come aboard.
Well, Commander, this is awkward, but the best way to get into a cold stream is to jump right in.
Federation sensors picked up 7 red bursts, spread out across more than 30,000 light years. These mysterious signals are beyond anything we understand.
We have someone in common.
My foster brother, Mr. Spock.
He took leave.
It's as if he'd run into a question he couldn't answer.
We're on a collision course with a pulsar.
Oh, what a relief. Thought we were all gonna die.
Wherever our mission takes us, we'll try to have a little fun along the way. Ruffle a few feathers.
I look forward to it.
You were my first students. My family. I wanted you to be free. My X-Men.
We have to be strong. For the team. For every mutant still out there. They need hope.
Hello.
Hey,
Hey,
how
Bobby.
are you?
Hey. You know the nice thing about this podcast, Nicholas, is that you don't have to memorize too many names. You know, you got Bob, you got Bobby. If you just call us
Yeah,
both Bobby and both
it's
Bob, you're not too far off. You know,
the
you're
Roberts,
pretty good.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
I want to talk to
that
Robert.
what?
It
It depends
Whoa.
what happened.
Yeah. It was definitely him. I don't know what you're talking about. But yes,
I don't even know
back,
this guy.
yeah, back for a normal show after Kraftwerk, and
How was Kraftwerk, by the way?
Kraftwerk was very, very good.
Okay.
So like it was Kemba Live, so it wasn't like a giant venue or anything, which kind of surprised us. But
Indoor or outdoor?
Indoor.
Okay, yeah,
And
because I saw Les Claypool Frog Brigade indoor there.
mhm.
Now,
I,
did
ha-
they
I
have
have yet to
like
do.
seating?
I have yet
They
to do outdoor there.
We probably will for Primus. We will for
Oh,
Primus.
well, okay, that'll be fun.
Yes, it will be.
But yeah,
Holy
no,
crap.
that place was packed.
You a little uncomfortable packed?
Yeah, a little uncomfortable packed.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's
I
kind of
think,
what
think it was a
the
little small for Kraftwerk. That being said, I don't know how much bigger they could have gone, but it wasn't Cure or anything. Cure was ridiculous. But yeah, no, people are figuring out that we got the same name.
it wasn't just by intelligent design.
Yeah. No. Listen, man. When I was looking for a co-host, I was like, I want somebody with the same name as I do, because I
Just
don't
make
want
it
people to have
easy.
to remember multiple names. It
No,
gets
that's
really
be
hard.
too
Okay.
much. And I just
Mhm.
happened to be the first to respond to the post.
Yes, there's that. Also, you responded. That makes it helpful. Yes, but yeah, no, we got quite a few things. Well, quite a few things. We got some stuff to cover. We got Furiosa, Mad Max Saga. We got Star Trek Discovery, like the middle third, and then and oh yeah, and in case you're wondering with Star Trek Discovery, what I was thinking is we'll probably finish off season 2, and I know season 5 is just ending. And then we can probably get caught up when Lower Decks is on, since we're all caught up on Lower Decks anyway. Get Star Trek in the algorithm still.
Yeah.
That sound like a plan to you, Bobby?
Yeah, that works. Because this
Um,
batch of episodes wasn't as terrible as the last.
well, that's the thing. Like I thought season
But
2
they
was
weren't
okay,
any
but yeah, I did
better.
like this batch a bit more than
But they
the other
weren't
batches.
any better.
It's
It's a mixed bag.
we'll get into it, but yeah, I definitely like having Spock there, if nothing else.
Yes, evil Spock is a welcome presence.
Yes.
Or bearded Spock,
Yeah.
I should just say.
No, it's evil. It's evil. We know Star Trek rules.
Yeah.
I'm evil, organized chaos, by the way.
Yeah.
This is the all evil podcast, guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're a little bit behind, but we're also covering X-Men 97 season 1.
We wanted to binge it in one sitting, and man, I'm happy we did.
Yeah.
Man, I'm happy we did. I got some stuff to say about that.
Ooh.
Oh,
Well, we are going to start out. Before we get to that, we are going to start out with a Furiosa here. Let me.
Yes.
So, real quick, my thoughts on this is that I do enjoy it. I don't think it's nearly as good as Fury Road, but I did enjoy it. Although my daughter had a really interesting critique, and I think Eric Reload, Eric Debunks, I think he had kind of the same critique. For all the chuds out there complaining that there aren't Furiosa is taking over the role of the man, there's a fuck ton of men in this movie. Like, holy shit.
Yeah. There's like
maybe like 4 women with speaking roles, and most of them have the vast majority of them have less than 5 minutes screen time. I want to say all of them have less than 5 minutes screen time except for Furiosa and maybe her mom. And if her mom is over 5 minutes, it's just barely.
So the chuds think that she's replacing Mad Max?
Yes. She's a woman lead in a male-led franchise, and that's enough reason to yell at it.
Oh yeah, that's not. I can excuse that. That's not that's not the issue I had with it. I just
like I said, I like it. But Bobby, you want to go ahead and dive into your?
No. Like you said, it was okay. I wouldn't say it was better than Fury Road or anything like that. They kind of dove into a little bit of how it got into this dystopian world, which is kind of what I've been wanting from this franchise. Ah, nice. But it's just when did the first one come out?
Well, are you talking about Fury Road?
Mad Max.
The original Mad Max? Oh, 78?
And the follow-up?
The other ones were 80s. I want to say it was like 80 and maybe 85.
And what was the gap of time between the last Mel Gibson one to Fury Road?
Oh, I think it was 85, 2015. So what, 30 years?
Yeah, so...
All right, 79, 81, 85, 2015.
I just I kind of felt this franchise was a little dead in the water after Thunderdome. So
Yeah. You see, I really I think Fury Road's the best one. I still do, but
it's
what
not
I do,
it's not bad. Yeah, I don't mind. I
I
don't
would
mind.
say with this one, I feel like to a degree, this feels like kind of like George Miller kind of revisiting almost like the original Mad Max and kind of doing something like doing the revenge story origin, except obviously with bigger budget, more resources.
Oh,
Um, you
absolutely,
know,
yes.
yeah, I feel like it's kind of his almost redo of that. Because
But
I like the original Mad Max, but it does linger on getting to the main point of the story for a while.
it did. It
Yeah.
dragged a little bit
Yeah. It
unnecessarily, and that's
yeah.
the one major complaint I have about it.
Yeah. And yeah, this one is fairly quick to get to that. Now I will say one thing that kind of shocked me, Anya Taylor-Joy. I think she does a really good job here. She doesn't look much like Charlize Theron, but I think she kind of captures the essence of the character quite well. Even though she has very limited dialogue, I'll say. But
Yeah.
there are times where it kind of sounds like Charlize Theron, and I thought that was kind of cool. Um, that being said, this movie is divided into 5 acts, and um, I want to say it's late, or maybe even the 3rd act, where Anya Taylor-Joy pops up, and what you have is young Furiosa for a surprising amount of it.
For almost a third of it.
Yeah. Or okay, young Furiosa. She gets 4th credit here. There was a point where I'm like, wait, should we really be calling her young Furiosa? Should this be Furiosa and then Anya Taylor-Joy be old Furiosa? Because we are on young Furiosa for a long time. And that's a lot of Chris Hemsworth stuff. Chris Hemsworth's villain he works. I don't he didn't thrill me as the villain, but he works. He's effective enough.
Yeah,
He comes
and
off as just kind of like he's a real piece of shit, but
Evil Thor is what I kind of thought of it as.
yeah, kinda, yeah. Kinda almost, yeah.
But I
Um,
mean, he chewed some scenery, and that
oh
was
God. Oh
but
God.
I loved
Yes.
it. Yeah, I kind of loved that.
Yeah.
Like like I said, it was okay.
hmm
I didn't hate this movie.
I think I definitely liked it more than you did, but I didn't love it. I'm not in
Yeah,
the same
I'm not
I really
crazy
love
about
Fury
it.
Road, and this one is
I'd rather
it's
go
a
see Kingdom of
solid
the Planet of the
prequel,
Apes again.
but
I'd
yeah.
rather go see Kingdom again.
I want nah, I would rather see this again, but I don't know. Kingdom's
Okay.
not bad either. But yeah. But yeah, this is just it feels kind of like George Miller kind of doing a redo of Mad Max to a degree, the original.
I kind of felt it was, especially when they were talking about when the takeover of Bullet Town. That one I was like,
yeah.
wait a minute. No. That
Mhm.
what? No.
And another thing that really struck me is and it's something I kind of thought was cool is that this movie doesn't really have good guys. The closest you get is Furiosa, and she is just pure revenge at this point in the story.
Yeah.
And deserved revenge. So it's not oh, how dare she or anything. But yeah. And I guess the driver that she is with for a little bit, he seems okay, but he doesn't have a massive role.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, and another thing that's worth saying is that this is probably the most continuity we've ever gotten between 2 Mad Max movies is between this and Fury Road.
It almost looked like all the stuff with Immortal Joe was just leftover footage.
Some of it. Well, I mean, they did recast Immortan Joe, because he is sadly passed. Hugh Keys Bryan, I want to say, was the original, which is sad because he played Immortan. He was the main villain in Mad Max Fury Road, and then he was the main villain in the original Mad Max. He was Toe Cutter. So that is fun little Easter egg there. But yeah, he has passed. Yeah, no, this just overall I think is a good movie. It did, like I said, didn't blow my mind or anything. But I kind of like that they split up into 5 acts into something different. And I don't know, I just overall I like it. I do feel like there were moments that dragged a bit where I was kind of like, okay, get to the point. Get to the point. Like we have like Chris Hemsworth's Dementis kind of has to take over. He goes to take over Immortan Joe's area, and you're looking at and you're like, dude, I don't even see how you can touch him. What are you doing? You're
Dude,
just
they
on the
have the
ground
high.
yelling. Yeah.
They have the high ground. What are
Yeah.
you doing?
Yeah. I've seen no way for you to actually touch them, so I don't know what you're doing. So yeah, it was
It's kind of like,
but
oh,
then he
got
took
it.
over.
You're an idiot.
Then he did something smart and he took over Gastown, and then Immortan Joe had to make a deal with him so he could work with him. Which, you know, it all works more or less, but it is. I think it's good. But it doesn't blow my mind. Another thing I want to add is that, like, I thought Mad Max Fury Road overall the visuals were very good, and there's very few moments where I really notice any like fakery for like overall. Like, I think it's stylized enough that kind of works. This movie actually had quite a few scenes where I was kind of like, that looks really CGI, like really,
there was a
really
lot.
CGI. Yeah,
There's
and
a lot
I
that
imagine it's a
noticed,
budget
too.
issue because say what you like. I know there's lots of people talk about, you know, the Furiosa's bombing. Those people don't seem to remember that Mad Max Fury Road wasn't exactly huge in the box office. It did all right, but like it made its money back enough for them to make a sequel. But like, there's a reason why it took George Miller 7 years to get this off the ground. Has it been 7 years? 9 years. 9 years to get it off the ground.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would recommend it. It, like I said, it's solid. It works. Anything you want to add, Bobby?
No. The 5 parts was interesting. How they broke that up.
Mhm.
I felt that was a different storytelling device for this franchise. No, yeah. I wasn't too overly enthusiastic about it,
Mhm.
and it's just I just kind of felt like it was. I was afraid of it just being like a rehash of old ideas, but with a new character.
Mhm.
And it kind of turned out to be that, so I was disappointed in
It
that.
kind
I
of
mean,
was. I don't know. I thought they did a good
but
job.
if they were going to
I
introduce, like, you know, some like do this with the backstory, maybe make it all new and interesting.
Mhm.
But that's fine.
I mean, I will say one thing I think would be an interesting idea is like this pretty much leads into Fury Road, and that's one thing I appreciate. Like, it's not set up for like a prequel, a new prequel in between this movie and Fury Road. This movie just rolls right into Fury Road. It picks up right where Fury Road begins, which is awesome. And I was thinking, well, you know, if they want to do, if George Miller has another Mad Max movie in him, you know, he could literally just do a Mad Max and Furiosa movie set after all of this, and you know, bring back Tom Hardy and Charlize Theron, and I'd be down for that, and then wrap up this franchise.
I'll
I'd be
admit,
down for
the
that.
whole movie, I was waiting for the arm to go.
Yeah, there was that too.
I
And then,
was waiting just as soon as like Anna Taylor showed up. It's like, okay, so that she didn't lose the arm when she was a kid, so it's obviously when she was like a little older. Just waiting.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's that point where they draw a map on that arm, and it's like, ooh, I don't see good things happening for that. And they do tease that because there's that point where her arm gets smashed in the car, and then they drag her out, and the arm's still there. It looks beat up, but it's still there. And then
yeah,
I guess I don't want to reveal too much, but yeah, it's they tease it out for quite a bit. Where you're like, wait, is it gone yet? Is it gone yet? Is it still there?
Yeah, actually, that whole scene, I was thinking, wait a minute, is that the right arm? Was she on the right
Yeah.
side for that to happen? And just thinking about the scene before where they're showing the tattoo going, yeah, no, oh shit, no, that was that arm. That was it.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, good. Not as good as Fury Road, but good. And I would be interested to see him kind of wrap up this Mad Max trilogy. You can call it a day.
Yeah.
But yes. That brings us to Star Trek Discovery, middle third of season 2, which I enjoyed this set of episodes probably more than I've been enjoying this for a while. Like, I remember when we first dove into Discovery again, like I was kind of enjoying it at the beginning, and then it was clear They didn't know what the fuck they were doing with the storylines, and it kind of ruined season 1 for me. And now, like, I feel like season 2, while it had kind of not an okay start, but was a little rough. It feels like it's stabilizing, and now I guess next week we'll see if they plant the ending, because that's where season 1 really fucked it up. It did not plant that ending at all. But I will say, this last set of episodes, we got Spock finally, which they've been teasing Spock forever, so it took a while. So that's nice, and I do like Ethan Peck's Spock, and I do question his beard, because while he looks fine with the beard, I sometimes suspect it's supposed to be like a really shaggy beard when it's clearly not a shaggy beard, and
It looks glued on almost.
yeah, I can't imagine it being glued on, because like it's growing into his cheek, and you usually trim that, which makes me think they're going for the shaggy look. But then he doesn't have a neck beard, so it's like it's not actually shaggy. It looks that's actually
Maybe Vulcans
decently
don't grow their
manicured.
beards like that, man.
Oh. So we should ignore the stubble on his neck?
Yes. Yes, that's
Okay,
what I'm
okay.
saying.
Bobby, what are your thoughts?
I was just looking at the episode lists. I like this one. This one was pretty, like, a better batch of episodes, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
The Red Angel was probably my favorite out of all of them.
Yeah. Well, that one gave us a nice little cliffhanger to go into next set of episodes with. If memory serves, was the kind of like pseudo sequel to The Cage, which was it was kind of fun to kind of return to that the planet of the big-headed people and seeing Discovery's version of those, and that's kind of fun.
I also really enjoyed the Sound of Thunder.
Sound of Thunder is yeah, the Saru's planet. Yeah, so I do think it's interesting how Saru's planet is apparently like they kill people, the Kelpians. They kill the Baul. So it's the planet of two species, the Baul and the Kelpians. And the Kelpians are the prey species, and the Baul are the predator species. And the Baul kill all the Kelpians before they reach a certain stage of their development. And since Saru's not on the planet, he just reached that stage of development, and he realized he's fine. And then he realized, oh, this isn't our natural end. We're supposed to survive past this. And then it even gets a bit more evolved, where we find out that, oh, they're supposed to become the predator after that. So they start out prey, but they develop into a predator, which I think is a kind of a cool idea. I still have serious questions about how the Baul are able to kill all the Kelpians on the planet without any of them figuring this shit out. That seems a little spotty, but it's a cool idea overall. And actually getting a few moments of badass Saru is kind of weird, but I'm down with it. But yeah, I think the Red Angel was a really good cliffhanger to leave us with.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then Project Daedalus. What I like about Project Daedalus is that it actually focused on a couple of characters that we keep on fucking seeing, but we never spend any time with. And granted, one of them dies at the end, but at least like we're getting some character development with these characters that there's these characters that are obviously part of the main cast that we see all the time, like Tilly and Stamets, and we just got Culber back. But then there's I want to say 3 or 4 other characters that we see in every fucking episodes that get no development, and I'm lucky if I can remember their names when they pop up. And a couple of them got little light shined on them in the Project Daedalus episode, and I really appreciate that. So yeah, it's overall, I think this set is potentially the best set that we've gone through so far. And right now, just with season 2, after season 1, I just want to make sure season 2 needs to plant the ending, because that season 1 ending was just rough, man.
That was real bad.
Discovery, no more Mirror Universe, okay? Just don't do it. Like Deep Space Nine burnt me out on it. Just don't. Anything you want to add?
No.
Okay,
Yeah,
well-
I'm very curious to see where the rest of season 2 is going to go.
And yeah, we'll figure it out next week. So
yeah.
All right. Well, that brings us to a little series called X-Men 97. Have you heard of this before?
I have. I've heard
Oh,
of the old version.
yeah. Well, I've been kind of dropping my hints of what I thought for a while, and I know I'll talk about it on live stream. But Bobby,
Yeah.
this is your first chance. What do you think?
Holy shit balls. I did not realize Cyclops was that much of a badass. Let's talk about him for a second.
I'm down.
First episode, okay?
Yeah.
Where that Sentinel grabs the Blackbird, right? And he just like turns around and takes out the arm and decapitates it. The whole ship's going down, you know. So Rogue and Storm save everyone that can't fly. Archangel swoops in. I didn't even know he was there, but good thing.
No, that was actually Morph.
That was Morph. That would have been Morph. Yeah. I thought I saw him following earlier. I was just more focused on the fact that that Cyclops didn't need a parachute. He just created a fucking crater in the earth.
Yeah.
Like, after that, I was like, Mr. Summers, I'd like to apologize for all those times I called you a little bitch.
Yeah. No, like, dude, when he
I
was
stand
first
corrected.
introduced, and they foreshadowed that crater scene really brilliantly when he comes jumping in that first fight scene, and you see him like punching people, but also blasting people, but also using his blaster to change positions, which is wild.
You mentioned that first fight scene, okay? Yeah. So when those jerks from Humans of or Friends of Humanity or whatever the hell,
Proud Boys, what?
Yeah, them. When they're cornering that young man and the thunder's happening in the background, I was watching it going, "Oh, you fucked up now." Like, I know what comes after that. It's not Thor. It's worse than Thor.
Yeah.
And, you know, Storm gets knocked down and went, and cue Cyclops, and boom, side of the door bust open. They go, yep, there's Scott. I was a little disappointed we didn't get a Wolverine introduction at that scene, but I was very pleased with his introduction in the show when they did. Like when he's in the danger room and he's on that guy's back, the two outside blades are on either side of his neck. And it's like, oh, this is a great mirage. It's like, all right, you can turn off your computer game. You know what? Good idea. Computer off, shut program off, and it's done. And Wolverine's still there with the claw out. It's like, yeah, that's Wolverine.
That boy is gonna need a new pair of pants, Wolverine.
Christ, dude, it's his first day. He already woke up to Beast, which is a horrifying thing.
Nicholas, I would say it is up to you. I will say the X-Men 90s show, it has good writing. The animation gets very, very wonky.
Yeah,
especially in season 5.
Yeah, the animation gets a little spotty near the end, but stories,
it's good.
Holy God, yes.
But you don't need to watch it. I would also say you can dive straight into X-Men 97 and enjoy it. There will be little Easter eggs throughout 97 if you're familiar with the animated series, but you don't need to know them. There'll be little references though.
Episode 2, I was very satisfied because even like with the end of the first one, I was like, "Oh my God, are they doing House of M? Are they doing this? Oh my God, oh my God, are they doing like their own take on House of M? This is awesome. This is awesome." But they ended up telling their own story.
Yeah, well, they definitely took comic book elements. Like I remember the Bastion storyline. Apparently, Bastion has a couple storylines, and I remember the first one from comic book not being too thrilled with it. And really, like X-Men 97 does a way better job with it. In my opinion,
but he
Operation
fucked up.
Zero Tolerance.
He fucked up.
Oh yeah.
He fucked up.
Oh. But
I forget what it is I exactly sent you. Yeah. No, he fucked up.
But the other big event that happens is the Genosha Massacre, which happens. I want to say that's during Grant Morrison's new X-Men run, which is I want to say mid-aughts. I think I had the graphic novel for that if I remember, but which is that is a wild event. So yeah, I mean I've talked about on and off, but yeah, I kind of love this series. Even though, like, I think there are some very obvious flaws, and I am doing an essay going over this and also going over the Chud reaction because goddamn Chuds took L's on this series, which I love.
But the fact that it's like both in the 90s of approval ratings, like fans and critics, and
just everybody's loving it, and the Chud reaction to this series was wild. Like, before it came out, like, the Chuds took every available opportunity to complain about this series. I think the biggest one was Rogue's ass not being as prominent, even though
why are they staring at an ass of a cartoon character?
Yeah, exactly. But they are focusing on one scene from the animated series where obviously the animator was doing it one-handed or some shit. But
we
for the most part, the animated series
is nowhere near as I've seen it depicted. We watched that episode, and no, that's not what her ass looked like.
But there's that one. There's the Morph being non-binary, of course.
Who gives a shit?
He's a shapeshifter who can literally change his gender at will. So I don't know. It kind of makes sense.
Well, no, I'm asking who gives a shit if he is or not. Like,
there's also that too. Yes. Well, remember, they explained that him being non-binary is inappropriate because it's a kids show. But also, you need Rogue's ass to be super fucking juicy in the kids show.
Idealism is not a good thing to sell children, but sex, that and violence, absolutely, we could sell.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that they would just love the tobacco industry's numbers.
Oh yeah, and the other thing that they went after him was there was this frame of Storm wearing a suit, and they were like, "Oh my God, they're emasculating Storm," and it was so dumb because number one, Storm's worn suits so many times at comic book it doesn't matter, but that wasn't even from the fucking series. It was from the tie-in comic book. But part of the reason why it's interesting, why their reaction to it was interesting, because once the show came out and everybody started loving it, the Chuds went fucking dead silent on it. Like, they were just like, oh shit. Like, nobody was talking about, even though, like, that was the point where the algorithm was really hot and they usually pound this stuff when it's on. They went silent. And then they didn't start talking about it a little bit until after it ended. And they started talking about how it didn't make the Nielsen top 10. You know, Nielsen, that thing for recording broadcast ratings, that was very relevant before the age of streaming.
Dates. So they go on streaming dates, I'm presuming.
Yeah.
Because that is so wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, it was such a bizarre
Here's what
reaction.
They're doing. Straw. Jesus.
But
fucking...
it was kind of funny seeing all their reaction to this and kind of just failing. And a couple of them actually did come out and say, "Hey, it's good." And then it's worth noting the ones that came out and said it's good did it. I don't know if any of them did it on videos, but they did it on Twitter. One of them did it on Twitter and blocked all the me and the other guys in the initiative because they knew we would talk about it. But we got screenshots, so we.
Message me their name.
Oh, Yellow Fash, But
okay. I'm not in the initiative, so I'm not blocked.
Oh no, we got the screenshot. We're fine. But yeah, I thought it was interesting. You went through and surgically blocked all.
You said yellow. You said yellow what?
Yellow Flash is actually it. I call him Yellow Fash.
Is it AK? Yellow Flash AK?
Yellow Flash AK? No.
Is it like at the at? Because there's Dylan Valentis.
I can't even look him up because he, actually, maybe I can Google it because he has me blocked.
Oh, Yellow Flash guy?
Yes, Yellow Flash guy. That's it.
Okay, got it.
But yeah, he's really noteworthy because he did the post talk about how good it was, and then once it ended, he started grifting on, oh, but it's a failure because it's not in the Nielsen top 10. Oh dear. These guys are so disingenuous, it's ridiculous. And frankly, X-Men 97 is fantastic. The animation, I would say, is better than anything from the animated series. Even when the animated series was good with the animation, this is better. The storylines were great. Like, I feel like it in a lot of ways it is a continuation of the animated series because it picks up with the same characters more or less where we left them off at. Granted, it's supposed to be a couple months later, but it's more or less there. I mean, Morph was still there, popped up in the last episode, and it's easy to assume he just hung out. And then sometime between there, Bishop got time portaled in and got stuck for a little bit. And that's probably about it. And then, God, you talk about Cyclops. There's so many characters who are badass here. Magneto, fucking badass. Even though like he goes villain again at the end of the season. He really does try. Like, even though he does it in his own Magneto way, he really does try to do Xavier's route. Like, he is honoring his friend, and you can tell.
Yeah. Oh God, this.
You looked at his timeline.
I did.
He is a super chud, dude.
That's what I've been doing this whole time. Did you just not see this? Oh. What were your favorite moments of the season, man?
Villains of the season.
Favorite moments, not villains.
Oh, moments. Okay. Okay. Well, it has to go Genosha Massacre, even though, like, god damn, that was heart wrenching. But holy shit,
that really was. But also, Magneto was right. I in the season still with that belief. Yeah.
Well, I mean, before the Genosha thing, there's that moment where Cyclops has that, like, he has that moment with the reporter where he kind of just lets loose, and he's like, "Thank God we're not humans, because if we treated you like you treated us, then you wouldn't fucking you'd be wiped out. You wouldn't want that." And
and
then later we get to see how the humans treat them, and it's like, wow.
I'm kind of happy that scene happened, and then the Genosha. Yeah, that was rough to watch. I did like watching the reunion of Gambit, Cyclops, and Nightcrawler. Or not Cyclops,
yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, that was great.
And it is fun seeing Nightcrawler become a main X-Men, which...
And it's also really cool to watch him handle 3 swords at once.
Yes. No, I love that. No, that's another moment I love. So other moments I love is I like when Rogue kind of takes her dark turn. I kind of fucking
which I like. I love that. Yeah, I loved all that. I was here for that.
Where like she's holding Trask over the roof and she just drops him, and it's like, damn.
Atta girl.
It's like that's hardcore. Like, I get it. I get why you did it, but damn. But then the Tolerance's extinction when that Sentinel army was fucking over the mansion, and Wolverine and Nightcrawler get that moment to just fucking tear through a whole bunch of them.
I got 6 reasons for you. Yeah, I was more surprised, like, oh, they're actually showing some violence in this, but we got treated to, which I'm surprised we haven't even talked about yet. The big moment of this season. Losing a team member.
Yeah. Well, we kind of did talk about it. It's the Genosha Massacre, but
we didn't say whom or any of
the
moment.
It's
been out long enough.
Yeah, so spoiler warning. I can't stress this enough. If you have not seen this series, watch this series. It is so fucking good. It is
hit mute for the next 5 minutes.
Yeah. But so goddamn, that ending for Gambit, holy shit,
I like how
badass.
earlier it showed that he's been upgrading his powers. How like he was charging Wolverine's like claws.
Yeah.
So like you could tell he's learning to manipulate more things than just cards.
Mhm.
But taking that barter that was in him,
Yeah,
just fucking badass.
yeah,
Gambit's a badass.
yeah, dude. And this is so comic book inspired.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of those things where it's like, they'll bring Gambit back. But like, the fact is they're treating it seriously as a death, as they should. And we're gonna, probably midway through next season would be the soonest I see them bringing him back, which means, a year without him. Which is, that's pretty hardcore, especially for a children's show. Like the original animated series, frankly, never would have done that.
No, they never would have killed a main like that.
Yeah.
No.
Mhm.
Well, especially like because this is definitely for the fans of the original, but grown up. Because this is like I said, I'm surprised at as much blood as we saw in it.
Mm-hmm. No, well, I mean that whole Genosha massacre was hardcore. I mean, and Magneto, when he's talking about essentially when he does his villain turn and he's telling Charles about the Leech. How that Sentinel was blasting at him, and
That
Magneto
line,
just told him, "Don't worry." And then Magneto's explaining how Leech was just fucking just destroyed in front of him.
It was actually that line that made me kind of really side with Magneto on there. Like, yeah, you were right. You were right this whole time. After hearing how he felt about it, and in that moment, like, he was right, man. He was right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Hedgehog Nerd goes over a lot of the cameos.
Yeah.
The only one I'm noting that I don't know if you got was Black Panther was in this as well.
Yes.
I'm trying to think. There was probably more than even that, but yeah.
See, I was hoping like the actor. I was hoping we'd get some lines from Spider-Man. Because even like the first time we saw him, I was just like, "Holy shit, Spider-Man!"
Well, very few of them actually get lines. Obviously, Captain America gets some lines because he actually has an exchange with Rogue. You can actually see her holding his shield here where she throws it off, and it's like, wow, Rogue is pissed.
Yeah, that was like, yeah, Rogue's about that life.
Yeah.
She ain't a
Yeah, so just another thing I will say that this series made me realize was how we got used to those Fox X-Men movies, and like there are a few good ones, but like this is what X-Men's actually supposed to be like. Like it just feels so fresh to actually see like the X-Men how they're meant to be kind of portrayed in a medium besides comic books. And the animated series did fairly well, but it's been so long since we've seen that. And then we just get those X-Men movies, and like I said, there's a few that are good. A lot of them directed by no one and just came to existence strangely enough, which is strange. But hey, Matthew Vaughn did a good one. Goddamn, I don't know who somebody fairly famous did the Deadpool movie. I'm brain farting though. It's Tim Miller. And then James Mangold did Logan. That was fantastic, but not comic book accurate. But yeah, this is our first time seeing comic book accurate X-Men in a long time. And I would even say it's better than the last time we've seen them. And it is so awesome to see them. And it really gets me excited to see kind of mutants in the MCU. And I want them to handle it kind of as much like this as possible. Like we're fully embracing the Friends of Humanity aspect. We're fully embracing all the bigotry angles, all the social justice angles of it. But we're also fully embracing aliens and Magneto having an asteroid base and all the weird shit too. We're going to fully embrace all of it. And I'm fucking down for it. I want to see next season. I want to see what they do with the mutants in the MCU. Which, I guess we'll get our first taste of mutants in the MCU in a couple of months. But
because they ended it, and half the team was one spot, the other half was elsewhere.
Well, it was a bit more. So we actually don't know where Wolverine and Morph are, but we can assume they're at one of the two spots. But we have Jean and Cyclops way off in the future, and then everyone else besides Wolverine and Morph, who we don't know yet, are in the past. I want to say it's like Rogue, Storm, Magneto, Professor X,
and
Morph. No, we don't know where Morph
not
is.
Morph. Forge.
No, Forge was left behind.
That's right. Forge was left behind,
as well as Jubilee and Sunspot. Jubilee was the most significant character who didn't get portaled in time.
Yeah, that's right. So they might be
Beast
back
is in the past as well.
Yeah, Beast.
So yeah, and obviously they're setting up Apocalypse stuff. Quick nitpick. Magneto recovers really well after getting impaled through the chest by Wolverine. Like, holy shit, he seems fine.
Wolverine seemed to do pretty good after getting all that adamantium ripped out of his entire existence.
Well, he's still on the bed last we saw, so he really didn't get any action last episode.
Breathing.
Yeah, true. But yeah, that was like they do hit on lots of big moments of the comic books. Like him getting that adamantium sucked out of him was a big deal in the comic book. The Genosha Massacre was a big deal. They're hitting on lots of big deals in the comic book, but the fact is, like, X-Men have like 50 years of history at this point. Plus, there's lots of big deals they can hit on and still have plenty to go for. So yeah, I'm excited to see future seasons. Bo DeMille, I will say, as the showrunner, he did a fantastic job with this. I don't know why he was fired. I would like to know why he was fired, whether or not I would give my 2 cents or not I want him hired back or not. But I do want to say I think he did a really good job of season 1. And to my understanding, most of the story ideas will stick around with season 2. So I have a good idea what they're going to do with the storyline, especially considering what's happened to some of the characters. But, let's wait and see as well, because they could throw some loops as well.
They could.
But yes. Fantastic job. Let's go over some favorite characters before we sign out on X-Men. Who were some of your favorites this season?
Cyclops, Magneto, Jubilee, Rogue, and Gambit.
Yeah. That is,
I wish
I might add Storm, but yeah, that's pretty much a good.
I wish that I got more with the inner war that Morph was going through.
Yeah,
but for what we got of it, I really enjoyed.
I wish
we got more of that.
Yeah, he did eventually get a little sting on Mr. Sinister. I was kind of hoping for a bit more of a resolution on that. That being said, we do get that in the original animated series, so they don't need to focus on it too much. True. And I think it is worth noting, Morph is one of the most powerful mutants on the team. Like, they really we only had one episode of him like actually copying characters and copying their physical abilities.
I loved it when he turned into the fucking
series,
Hulk.
which I love.
I loved it when he turned into the fucking Hulk.
Yeah. Morph smash.
Yeah, that I was like, oh, he's the fucking Hulk right now. That's awesome.
Yeah. Jubilee, I think, is another really good one because I feel like Jubilee is really coming into her own. I think also in the comic book as well. A little bit I've read of her in the comic book.
Yeah, I liked how she got to run into her older self, and her older self is doing this new one. She's like, "Wait, I could do that."
She's like, well, yeah, her powers, like, she's getting really creative and cool with the powers, but also, like, she was always this kind of the kid character, kind of learning. She's the one that gets in trouble and result, and the team has to save her. And she really seems to be coming into her own as just being a hero and just be kind of a badass and just going out and helping people on her own and stuff like that. And she's kind of quickly becoming a character I really like. As I used to think she was fine, but she was never one of my favorites. And now I'm finally, after like 30 years, I'm like, you know what? She might be one of my favorites now.
Yeah. I even like the episode with her and Mojo. Like I actually enjoyed the Mojo.
I
episode
wasn't
this run.
thrilled with that one. That was probably my low point for the season, but you know what? It is better than any Mojo stuff we've got in the animated series by
I thought the Two
mile.
Genes was kind of the low point. Cool story, but we should have had Sinister more present in that episode, I felt.
So the Two Genes story, I have serious there. Real quick, I want to say something positive about that episode. There is a nightmare sequence that the X-Men go through. That's actually fucking awesome.
Right? Like,
oh my god, it's like some Freddy Krueger stuff.
All of that was like,
all for
I'm here
it.
for this. Like, I'm here for this.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
But the Gambit gets the I can't unsee that line. There's the but yeah, that storyline is super rushed. Essentially, Madeline Pryor gets one episode to be a villain, and then she's the hero again, and then she's dead.
Then she dies.
Yeah,
quite horrifically. Actually, I might add.
I want to say, like, it's not just Gambit. They
to
kill
where
a lot of the recurring characters.
It was one where I would have been okay. I was like, okay, getting okay with the storyline, and then they fucking kill her.
Yeah.
Okay. Like Cable runs up. I'm so sorry, Mom. Gone. Boom. Oh.
Yeah.
It's definitely more Cables there, and it's like, oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on?
And Cable is another one that we saw like sporadically throughout the animated series, but like here we actually get a bit more development of him, where it's actually revealed that he is Madeline's and Scott's son from the future. And he is a bit of a tool of Sinister as well, without even knowing it. Overall, it's great series. You kind of went over my favorites. Yeah, I think Rogue is a badass here. I think Magneto's a badass. I think Cyclops is a badass. Fucking Gambit. Fucking yes, we will remember it. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
Damn. And Jubilee is really coming into her own. I'm sure we're probably gonna get plenty of Wolverine, because I want to stress Wolverine's like it's so standard to say, but yes, Wolverine is one of my favorite X-Men, as he is for many people. He didn't get as many standout moments in this season as he would normally, but I'm sure he'll get more. And he was very good in this season. That moment with him and Nightcrawler tearing through those Sentinels was fucking awesome. And I'm excited to get more Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
I hope he stays around for at least a couple more seasons, because Nightcrawler's always been one of my favorite X-Men. Despite the fact that I'm not really thrilled with religion, and he is super religious, he's been one of my favorites because he always just preached essentially being good to each other. And I can get behind that aspect of religion. Absolutely.
So, did you notice that the guy who did Cable sounded an awful lot like Josh Brolin?
So much so that I had to look up and make sure it wasn't Josh Brolin, because I noted that. I was like, wait, that doesn't sound like the dude from the original animated series.
But he is also straight doing Josh Brolin, and I'm okay with
absolutely.
this. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. So it's like, okay, so is Josh Brolin being both Cable and Thanos canon in the MCU now?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Well, we need a team up movie then, Thanos and Cable.
No, it's just going to be Terrence Howard.
Oh, the return of Terrence Howard.
The return of Terrence Howard.
We got a new movie coming out called The Return of the Original War Machine. Armor Wars is just going to be Terrence Howard versus Don Cheadle.
He's an all right actor.
Terrence Howard, I think, is decent, but yeah, I prefer Don Cheadle by like a mile.
It just seems like, this seems like, but he was out of his damn mind thinking he's gonna get more than the lead. Like,
yeah, like it's like, dude, you stumbled into luck with that first movie where you made more than the lead. You are not repeating that. And I know Kevin Feige even said like Don Cheadle was his first pick for the role, but he was busy at the time. They're an upstart studio and they wanted to get shooting so they get a movie out. And I get that. And I am happy Don Cheadle came back. But yes. X-Men 97. In case you can't tell, we liked this show.
Yes,
it was okay. Show. Yeah.
It was awesome. I was ready to call you because I was binging it the day that I was texting you about it. I binged it all in one sitting.
Damn.
Yeah, the third one was the last 3 episodes were definitely the marathon.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, what a twisted name for a 3-parter though, especially for a children's show. Like Tolerance is Extinction. Dang it. But yeah, like we spoiled it, but yeah, it's a great series. This is definitely the highlight of this week. X-Men 97.
Oh, absolutely.
This is what X-Men need to be like in the MCU, frankly. This is a great template. This is showing me that they have people there that know what they're doing. Do this for the movies, and I'll be happy. It's all I'm asking.
But next week.
Yes. I was about ready to get to that. Next week, I know we're finishing off Discovery Season 3. I know.
Or Discovery Season 2.
2, yes. And then I believe Doctor Who is there as well.
Yeah, we're going to start Doctor Who. We're going to watch episodes 2 through 6.
Yeah. Well, 1 is the Ruby Road one. So, and then that'll just get us all caught up.
That's right.
That's where I want to go. And then
we also have Inside Out.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Okay. So we can see like why this one is failing too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I love how they will listen. I remember, was it Elemental that came out like a year or 2 ago? And the chuds were yelling about how it's bombing because it didn't open well. But then, like, the movie had, like, the longest legs in the world and made a fuck ton of money. And then they got silent when it just kept on maintaining.
And it's still in theaters. Yeah, like how long it stayed and how much money.
And then afterwards, I would still catch them saying, "Oh, this movie bombed." It's like, no, it didn't. No, it had poor opening weekend numbers. And then it just kept fucking going.
I saw somebody making a post or like a story Saturday afternoon about how Furiosa is bombing on Memorial Day.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's Saturday afternoon. Like, the fuck?
Well, we can look this up real quick because this is interesting because I saw people talking about how the Fall Guy was a bomb. Fall Guy was projected to make $28.5 million on its opening weekend. It made 27.8, and they're calling it a bomb. And I'm like,
how much was it?
I would call that in fucking range.
Yeah, like it didn't exactly make like 28, right? Was what they projected.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't exactly make the money that they projected, but it still made money.
It like I would say that's well within the margin of error. I like look at that. I'm like, okay, well, I mean that's
fucking hatred.
kind of what you'd expect.
Why the hatred with that one? Like,
because
Ryan Gosling was in Barbie.
So Furiosa didn't do quite as well. It was projected to make 30.4 million. It made 26.3.
Yeah, that did do as good.
But I would still like it's not a drastic drop.
I wonder what all the chuds thought about the Iron Claw. Or did they say anything about it? Because I hear nothing but
about it. It wasn't popular enough. I don't think they usually go after A24 because A24 is kind of beloved at this point.
Yeah, probably because like they didn't want to cover wrestling, especially wrestlers they probably don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if they know much of anything.
Well, I mean, they're probably the type of idiots who would go up to a pro wrestler and tell them it's fake.
Oh God, that would be hilarious.
I mean, I wouldn't advise that.
Yeah. Oh, and what do you know? The Fall Guy overperformed this past weekend what it was supposed to do by just over just over $1 million. So it made up the difference already. So
yeah, okay, so
yeah. I will say, like, I don't know how much they were expecting something like Furiosa to make. Let's see. Do we have a budget number on it? Doesn't look like it. I'm sure it wasn't cheap, but like I said, the original Mad Max or the Mad Max Fury Road, like it did okay in the box office, but it didn't set it on fire or anything. It did fine. I don't think they were expecting this one to be like the biggest movie ever. And plus 9-year delay will hurt it as well. Plus the fact that everything's on streaming in like 6 weeks anyway.
yeah. So what trailers were attached for you?
God, I'm really bad about even watching trailers anymore. I know we had Quiet Place day 1.
Yeah, I had that one as well.
And then
I had one where it was Wolverine and Deadpool telling me to silence my phone.
Oh, yes, that
Wolverine
one was actually
cursed
awesome.
like a mile a minute, and I'm like, this is great.
That was great because it was Wolverine who was the first one to break the fourth wall, and Deadpool was like, "Whoa, that's my shtick. What are you doing?"
Great fourth wall break, but yeah, no, take it easy, buddy. Take it easy.
Yeah, fuck yeah. You don't need to come out that strong. Take it slow. But yeah, that was actually probably one of the best turn off your phone things I've seen in a long time.
Yeah. There was a Beetlejuice trailer.
Yes, Beetlejuice, which I need to add to the agenda. Although I think, was that September? We got a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still.
It's good to add it to the agenda so I don't forget.
Because we also have to talk about the elephant in the room in that case when we get to it.
Oh,
why Jeffrey Jones isn't in it.
Oh, yeah, and I 100% agree with the decision because fuck that guy.
100% agree with it.
But yeah, so next week, Inside Out, Star Discovery Season 2, and Doctor Who, which I've been eager to get to because the Chuz have been waging war on that one. And it's like I haven't seen it yet. I don't know.
Those guys just sound like they need to touch grass.
Yeah, there's that too. But yes,
I actually almost went ahead and bought my tickets for the new Deadpool movie.
Yeah. But yeah, I think anything you want to add, Bobby, before we sign out?
If you guys are watching and you're in the state of Ohio, my friend and her wife, she started this tea company called Mountain Mama Tea. It is really good, really awesome, but it's all locally made right out in Delaware. So we're here. We love to support and be big on Ohio branded stuff. So just mountainmamatea.com. If you live in Ohio, they can ship to you. They're great. And that's really all I have on it, Bob.
That is awesome.
You should order some too.
We should do that at the beginning, but yes.
Well, we should.
You guys, I was like, oh shit, yes.
They're not official, but like I'm sure we could figure something out.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I might check them out. What else? Oh yeah, so I'm going to be streaming not a whole lot because I have the kids for the next 3 weeks. The podcast will be on schedule next week and the week after that, and then I'm hoping to get a solo stream in on this Sunday. And that might be it for my streaming. I'll still get videos out on Saturdays though.
If I'm going to be free, I might pop in your chat and mess with you again.
Ooh, that could be fun.
just ribbing you.
Mm-hmm. Well, hey, I'm fine if you dislike stuff. Just have good reasons.
No, just because you like it. That's the only reason why.
Yeah. Well, hey, but yes, everybody, have a good one. Thanks for joining us.
Take care.
Party on. Be excellent to each other.